I have a theory about why Black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were Black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a Black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had Black women as the side characters. These Black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about Black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the Black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that Black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this Black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing Black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the Black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most Black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead, even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
What's up, YouTube family? I'm back again with another episode. So, on today's episode, we have a very interesting topic whereby some Black women feel that the white women are afraid of them, are jealous of them, and such kind of rhetorics going on in the internet. So let's have a look at a few clips that I've compiled. Just to mention that the credit goes to the original producers of these videos. Yeah, so let's get right into it and have a really quick discussion at the end.
What's up, y'all? It's Jay here, your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist. I'm gonna make this real quick. I don't know why Black women always acting like they don't understand the pathology of why white women are jealous of us. I mean, for hundreds of years, we couldn't keep their man off of us. Why would they not be jealous? Why would they not want to be with our men after that? It's all to spite Black women. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it.
I can pretty comfortably say that none of us like to be challenged. But as one whose Enneagram is number 8, aka the challenger, this is pretty much what I do. I help people. I help people face the challenge, but also to step out on the other side of it, doing something profound and beautiful, loving themselves. So I would love to have you join me if you're interested. If you're not, you definitely should be, because it's pretty awesome. But I'm doing a program, and I want you to be a part of it. Now, this is for white women, Black women, brown women, Asian women, any other women that you've got, but who are ready to step into their story and authentically own it and say, you know what, this is me, this is real, and my story is important. All right, so join me. Worthy AF Coaching begins very soon. Bye.
So I think we should all, as white women, just admit we're jealous of Black women's hair.
And this is why the responsibility for white women to wake up and to no longer buy into this promise that patriarchy gives them, even though it's false. This is why white women play such an instrumental role in dismantling patriarchy. Black women are the least married because black women refuse to conform with the terms and conditions that allows us to be married, because we realize that it takes away our freedom as women. This is why I get very, very happy when white women watch my content. There's actually another creator, YV Edit, Lisa. She is a white woman, and literally she holds white women accountable. Like, she literally calls white women out for their behavior and their further perpetuation for allowing patriarchy to be upheld, because it's very apparent. White women still do get to reap some benefit by upholding patriarchy, because white women are most likely marrying white men who are at the top of the hierarchy. And so this is why a lot of black men like to give the talking point of, well, white women support their men, and, you know, Hispanic women support their men. Black women are the only group of women who do not support their men. Well, yeah, we don't really get a benefit. And typically for a white woman, there is an expiration date on how long they can benefit the pretty much the benefits from patriarchy, because men are still going to be men no matter what race they are. This is why you have so many white women on here in mass who have been married, and they've been stay-at-home moms, and at 40 years old they're being left with nothing because they've aged out of the patriarchy. It's time for the man to go get someone younger. It's time for them to imprint on someone younger so that these white men can continue to uphold the patriarchy. For Hispanic women, and this is just anecdotally, for a lot of them they have no choice but to uphold the patriarchy, because they have pretty much been shackled to a man due to financial dependency on a man and even abuse against another man. Just anecdotally, okay, within like my friendships and the women that I know and the women that are in my circle, typically I find that the Hispanic women are usually bound to their husbands because of their fear of being unalived and their fear of being abused. Because black men can't afford a patriarchy, black women have had really no benefit to uphold anything, because pretty much we would be taking on financial dependence on a man and then potentially being abused by that man with no benefit. For us, it just isn't worth it. Like, just to say that we're married, we have to undergo financial abuse and then physical, emotional, and mental abuse. It just doesn't make sense to us. Slowly but surely, women of other races are opening their eyes, but the thing about it is that men are NPCs. Men only have the same gameplay. Like, literally, men get in forums together to figure out, like, what lines they can use on a woman to try to sleep with them. That is how unoriginal they are. That is how they're really just one-trick ponies. And you can see this when black men are saying, well, then fine, we just won't date you anymore. We won't even deal with you guys anymore. This is why we want to deal with white women. This is why we want to deal with Hispanic women. Listen, I will happily rally up all of the white women and all of the Hispanic women, all of the other different races of women that aren't black. I will rally them up for you and hand deliver them to you. Because men are one-trick ponies. They, in most cases, are not changing their behavior depending on what woman that they're dealing with, no matter what race she is. So the more that these men can inflict their pain on other races of women, all it's going to do is make women wake up and realize that these motherfuckers are all the same. And they're going to wake up and realize, okay, now we see what black women were talking about. Men's last resort is always going to be to divide and conquer. That's the reason why we have socioeconomic classes. That is the reason why we have racial classes. That is the reason why we have so many different forms of segregation, because the man's last resort to have power is always going to be divide and conquer. It's not until white women realize that although they do gain some benefit by upholding patriarchy, they are still being suppressed by white men. Slowly but surely, more and more white women are understanding this, and more of them are waking up to this. That's why this platform has been so pivotal for women, because more and more of them are speaking up about their experiences, and more of them are opting out of marriage and having children. The stronger the community of women grows together, despite our race, the more patriarchy is going to lose its value. This is the reason why men do not like feminism. They despise feminism because they realize that when women come together as a collective, the men are going to lose. That is the reason why they had to create this power dynamic between men and women in the first place, and to keep women distracted by seeing how men are actually suppressing them, they had to pit women against one another. And this is why I'm always going to say, male-centered women are never going to be your friend. They are never going to look out for you because their eyes are still glazed over with patriarchy. They are still under the impression that the man is the one that holds the power, and then that's who she should be answering to. As black women, we have not even seen black men in power enough to even believe that in the first place. It's typically not until white women get a divorce and then they realize that the white man does not leave them with any money, does not take care of his children, that they finally see, oh my goodness, this is what black women were talking about. This is the reason why they did not want to participate in this game, because they realized that it was an expiration date on when they had the benefits. Now they are in the same predicament as a black woman, having to raise a child alone, having to struggle, having to find employment, having to be at a woman's shelter. This is everyday life for a large amount of black women. And then despite the fact that these white women are trying to get it together and still take care of their children and still try to figure it out, they are reminded that they are still a woman. Just because they're a white woman and they were married, all of that falls down, because when you're out going to try to get a job and you are a stay-at-home mom, they don't care about the fact that you're white. You're a woman and you don't have your shit together, and you are not allowed to play. You are not allowed to be in the club. You are not an asset any longer to the patriarchy. The intersectionality between race and gender and how it impacts us as women is very, very pivotal to understanding that the patriarchy is just not worth upholding.
Hey, this is for white women. White women, let's listen up. If you're not white, you can watch. I welcome you here. But white women, if you are having a problem with the Black Women Follow train here on TikTok, this is where Black women have said, hey, Black women, if you want to support me and let's support each other, go ahead and give me a follow and I'll follow you back. That's all it is. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing, but that's all it is. It's some creators who are saying, hey, let's support each other. It's a beautiful thing. But of course, white women can't leave well enough alone. And we are all up in the comments saying, this isn't fair, this is racist, if I did that. I want you to sit, and I want you to think, and I want you to consider why this is hitting you so hard. Why is it that you are having these feelings, these strong feelings, these angry, violent feelings? And I want you to think about why that might be. And I want you to sit on that for a while and reconsider those negative feelings that you're having. And let's see what you come up with, because I think you'll come up with some things that will be helpful for you, will help you grow and help you see that the Black Women Follow train is nothing but a beautiful thing.
Something disturbing I've heard from Black women over and over again is how much white women at work feel this mandate that the Black women be their friends. That's insane. Like, one of y'all has commented on my videos that your boss makes you hang out with her outside of work because she complained that you weren't a team player. And I've heard about stuff like this in my research. Like, I shit you not, one research participant told me about her white coworker. She was an engineer, so she was a racial and gender minority in her workplace. one of her coworkers like really wanting to know where she lived. Like they were all up in her business. And I shit you not, as I was writing that chapter, I was at a local writing group in DC, and I was chatting with a black woman who was there, and I didn't really know her that well. We were just both in the writing group, and she didn't know what I was writing, and she was telling me about how like ongoing in her life right now, someone was following her home from work just to know where she lives, like knocking on her door and being like, "You live here?" And she was like, "Yes." And she was telling it like laughing, and I was like horrified. The obligation that some people feel to these women's bodies is revolting.
So now, here we are, and just from the clips that we've seen, a few things are coming out very clearly. Most of these white women that are confessing are saying that they were programmed from an early age that the black people, most likely the black men, are bad people, and even from the TV shows that a lot of people watch in Africa, in many places, white women normally are the main characters in the movies, as we've seen from the clips, and the black women are like the supporting characters. So that by itself speaks a lot of volumes, and I'm glad that we are having this kind of discussion right now. And it's time that the farm-colored people or the women can ask themselves if indeed they are really afraid of the black women, then what could be the reason? Why are they afraid of the black women? That is what they should ask themselves, and me and you too, we should be asking ourselves. So tell me what you think. Share with me your thoughts down below in the comment section. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please take a minute to subscribe, like, and share this video for more content like this. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next episode.